Today we're going to talk about the articulation and phonological disorders, differentiating between the two. The articulation disorder is a kind of speech disorder where individuals face difficulties articulating sounds at the motor level, and this can also be known as at the sound level. Articulation disorders are classified into four categories, one being substitutions, second, omissions, third, distortions, and fourth, addition. For substitutions, for example, we have the word to, T-O-O, would be substituted for boo. On omissions, the word to would be oo. And for additions, the word to would be tune. Distortions occur when a child uses a non-typical sound to produce a typical sound. The causes at this time for articulation disorders are unknown, and there are some instances where errors may occur based on infections that have caused hearing issues in the past, or maybe brain injuries, or even effects of the nerves that have involved speech. The second disorder is the phonological disorder, which is also known as the phonemic disorder. And this is a language-based disorder that affects the phonemic level. Another way of explaining it is how the brain organizes speech into sounds and the sound patterns that it produces. The phonological disorder has particular errors that were discussed in this chapter, one being backing. That is when the alveolar sound is substituted with a velar sound. For instance, gog for dog. And then there is the fronting, which is when the velar or palatal sounds are substituted for the alveolar. And this includes the K, G, S, H for T, D, and S. The third being gliding, where the R becomes a W and the L becomes a Y or a W sound. And that example given was wabbit or yowl. And there's also stopping. Stopping is also a fricative sound, the fricative of the F or S, or an affricate of ch and j is stopped. So stopping has to do with the various airflow and the usage of a word. The vowelization in this occurs with the L or sounds when they are replaced with vowel sounds. And one example was given was apple for apple. These phonological disorders are processes, and if they persist beyond the age of their peers, they are known as a phonological disorder. In most cases, the phonological disorder causes are unknown. There have been situations where there's been damage to parts of the brain that control the nerves, that control the muscles in speech, such as cerebral palsy. In some cases, there are problems with the structure of shape of the muscles and bones used to make sounds, like dental problems or a child born with a cleft palate. To recap, an articulation disorder is at the sound level or at the motor level, and it has to do with a specific phoneme, a specific sound. And an articulation disorder occurs when it is a significant difficulty in producing consonants or vowels. And if it occurs past the age of the typical development, then it's considered to be a disorder. Again, for phonological disorders, this has to do with how the brain organizes the speech sounds into patterns and how they place the patterns into speech. Again, the phonological disorder occurs and is diagnosed when the phonological process is persisting past the typical age of peers. And at this time, could it be possible that you could have both? Yes, it could be possible. It could also be possible that you only have articulation disorder or a phonological disorder, but it has been known that you could have both.